Saket Soni, the founder of Resilience Force, highlights a critical vulnerability within the U.S. disaster recovery system: its overwhelming reliance on immigrant labor. He argues that the skilled restoration workforce, encompassing individuals with diverse legal statuses, forms the backbone of rebuilding efforts following devastating natural disasters. Mr. Soni's concern is amplified by the potential ramifications of increased immigration crackdowns, particularly those championed by the Trump administration. Such policies, he warns, could trigger widespread chaos, significantly hindering community recovery efforts in the wake of catastrophic wildfires and floods. The urgency of this issue is underscored by the escalating frequency and intensity of climate-fueled disasters across the United States. Republican and Democratic voters alike are grappling with the consequences of these events, witnessing the widespread destruction of homes and businesses. The ongoing wildfires in Los Angeles serve as a stark reminder of this reality, adding to the devastation caused by major hurricanes that ravaged Florida, Texas, North Carolina, and Georgia in the previous year. The sheer scale of these disasters is staggering. 2024 alone witnessed 27 separate billion. Soni paints a grim picture of the potential consequences of stricter immigration enforcement. Mass deportations would completely upend the ongoing recovery in Florida, Louisiana, and North Carolina from last year's hurricanes, he asserts. It would stall the rebuilding of LA after the fires, and at this point, anyone anywhere is at risk of having their home impacted by a climate disaster. So everyone needs these skilled workers. His statement underscores the pervasive nature of the threat and the critical role these workers play, regardless of location or political affiliation. The growing disaster industry, fueled by the increasing frequency and severity of extreme weather events, further highlights the dependence on this workforce. The profitability of rebuilding efforts has led to consolidation within the industry, with private equity firms acquiring smaller businesses. This trend, however, raises concerns about worker protections and regulatory oversight, leaving many vulnerable and exploited. Trump's actions, including his expressed desire to potentially shut down the Federal Emergency Management Agency, FEMA, during a visit to North Carolina, a state heavily impacted by Hurricane Helene, one of the most destructive storms in recent U.S. history, further exacerbate the situation. This statement, coupled with reports from the Washington Post detailing the Trump administration's issuance of new quotas to Immigration and Customs Enforcement, ICE, to intensify raids and arrests, paints a concerning picture for the future of disaster recovery in the United States. The resilience workforce, significantly expanded since Hurricane Katrina devastated New Orleans in 2005, largely comprises undocumented Latino workers who played a part. This history underscores the long-standing reliance on immigrant labor within the disaster recovery sector. Soni, in his book, The Great Escape, A True Story of Forced Labor and Immigrant Dreams in America, details the experiences of Indian workers lured to the U.S. to assist in the rebuilding of New Orleans, highlighting the complexities and often exploitative nature of this labor. Soni's poignant anecdote about Honduran workers rebuilding Floridian homes, while their own homes remain uninhabitable due to hurricanes, encapsulates the dedication and resilience of these individuals. We have workers from Honduras who right now are rebuilding the homes of Floridians and are in Florida because a hurricane destroyed their home and forced them to leave, he explains. You know how much grace it takes to replace someone else's roof while your own home is uninhabitable, and yet the workers persevere with grace and persistence. This compelling narrative humanizes the often overlooked contributions of immigrant workers, emphasizing their vital role in national recovery efforts and the ethical implications of policies that threaten their livelihoods and well-being. The precarious position of these essential workers, coupled with the increasing threat of climate-fueled disasters, necessitates a critical reassessment of current immigration policies and a commitment to ensuring a fair and equitable system for all who contribute to the rebuilding of American communities. The future of disaster recovery in the United States hinges on acknowledging and addressing this critical dependence on immigrant labor.